Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from Uju Sonyo, CIX, Astro, and Kang Daniel. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including the next top boy group from outside the big three, Hollywood and K-pop, more Produce 101 development, and the tragic passing of Goo Hara. So prepare your body, reach out to your loved ones, because oh lord, 2019 has been a rough one. Hit me with that intro. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 62, and we're recording on Monday, November 25th, 2019. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got the Manhattan Man, Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And we have the cyborg, Anita.
Hello.
What are these introductions?
All right, and as a quick reminder, please leave us feedback, questions, or hot takes at SojuTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe to the SojuTalk YouTube channel, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. Links down below. I was really hoping we would never have to have one of these types of discussions at the top of the show again, but I'm sure a lot of you know the situation that happened with Goo Hara, so I am first going to read a statement I wrote about the situation, and then the three of us are going to discuss it for a little bit because I feel like we should address it at the front of the show. So, on November 24th at 6 p.m. Korean Standard Time, Goo Hara was found deceased in her home in the Cheongdam neighborhood of Seoul. Police are currently investigating her death and have found the note left on her living room table, but have concluded that there was no foul play. Goo Hara was best known for her time in Kara, the group that she debuted with in 2008, and later her solo work in both Korea and Japan. Her death comes a little over a month after the passing of her close friend Sully. In September of 2018, Hara was involved in a domestic violence incident with her ex-boyfriend, which eventually saw him being found guilty of intimidation, assault, coercion, and property damage. The ruling is currently being appealed. This past May of this year, it was reported that Hara had survived an attempt to take her own life, a truly tragic situation overall. We offer up our sincere condolences to Goo Hara, her family, and her friends. We will greatly miss her bright smile and passion. She was 28 years old. Guys, this year has been like something
A
else.
rough year.
Like terrible. I'll speak at length about my feelings about the situation. When we covered Sully's passing a little over a month ago, it was a bit shocking. My feelings about Sully was more that I respected her because of the type of things she was having to deal with post FX. Like, I saw her as someone in the industry forging a completely new path and having to endure the growing pains of that kind of journey. But for someone like Goo Hara, I had been a fan of her for about, I'm gonna say, 10 years. Around
That's
then.
a long time. That's a long time.
Like, 1 second, please. She was honestly one of the first biases I had in K-pop.
Wow.
I was first introduced to her on a reality show called Invincible Youth, where they got a bunch of female idols together, and it was like an interesting show. They brought them out to the countryside in Korea, had them live and work on a farm out there, and she like stood out so much to me because of her like bright energy, her youthfulness. Like, the main thing I would describe her was that there was so much energy in that girl, and she like just shined. And to find out that she had taken her life, I think, yesterday has really made me reflect on like a lot of things, because it's like I've been a fan of this person for about 10 years. I would say objectively her peak was when she was in Kara. I think a lot of people knew that once she had left the group, it had become a little bit of a struggle for her. She wasn't even signed to a Korean agency at the time. She was signed to a Japanese agency. But this is just a super tragic situation.
A couple things. This comes in the background of this. There's a lot of the context of this is kind of there's a lot to talk about, right? There's a lot to break down, and I'm sure there's other mediums that will discuss it in full length. But a couple bullet points are her incidents with her ex-boyfriend or boy. Or, well, I don't exactly know what the relationship was. Totally passed away like a month ago. And I've come to realize that like a lot of people might not really understand who Goo Hara is. Even with what Doug said, she was kind of like Kara was like a big three at one point, basically, right? Her group, like it was at one point it was Girl Generation, Wonder Girls, and Kara. She was at the top of the industry, and I mean, obviously she's like you mentioned, she had a peak and she came down a little bit, and it seemed like for a while it seemed like she was stabilizing her career post that kind of era. And I thought things were going okay. I thought she was one of the living proofs that celebrities can have a prolonged career without having to go into hiding and coming back like years later, right?
Yeah.
Like thinking like in that aspect, with all that in mind, she's her footsteps, her legacy is something that's difficult to ignore in the industry. And it's, while I've never been the world's #1 fan of Kara or Goo Hara by any means, she is someone I kind of grew up with. She is been a household name ever since I was 5th grade or something like that. And
she was really one of the first variety dolls for the second generation, because I'd say objectively she wasn't super skilled as an idol per se, but she had that it factor about her where everyone was just drawn to her as a person. And she was super notable for being on variety shows, and everyone's like, man, this girl has it, right? I'm so lost for words at how this year is going, to be honest. And I have a lot of words. Y'all know that. I don't know. Anita, do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't know. I feel like I've been thinking a lot about this since the news came out. And I don't know. I just feel like I wish that the people that she was with listened to her, and that she was able to like have some security after what happened in May, because I feel like that was a very clear sign that things were not okay, that her life was in danger, that she attempted to take her own life before this. So I just hope that she did receive some help at some point. And I don't know, I think my thoughts have just really gone to like how many other people are feeling this way and are not talking about it.
Yeah.
Like they think they're doing okay, like it looks fine on the outside, but it's not. So I don't know, I think my overall wish is that if you're not doing all right, if you wish that someone will listen to you, like please don't hesitate to talk to someone. I know it might seem like other, but it really is. I think everybody deserves to get that time to get listened to, and I don't know, I feel like someone will listen, someone does care.
Yeah.
So I hope. Yeah.
I mean, I hope my real big hope, because obviously these kind of situations are irreversible, right? It's what happened. I do hope that through these types of incidents, although of course I hope none of it never happens again, but the thing I hope happens is that two things. Number one, that mental health becomes further destigmatized for celebrities, because it seems like in Korea, if you come out with your problems, especially mental health, oftentimes, I know it's a lot less now, but you get stigmatized as someone who has mental health issues, right? that's a very cultural situation that I hope shifts in Korea. The other thing is I hope that there's more support structure for idols who are suffering mentally. Because oftentimes, because mental health is an illness you can't see, of course. So I will say, based on the news that's come out, it seems that her death was very premeditated. What I'll say is that reports have stated that she met with all the Kara members in the last month. And even her last Instagram post, like, I'm not gonna read into it too much, but there was like a goodbye connotation to it. So overall, just a super tragic topic, and I don't really know what to think at this point.
There's a Korean proverb that goes something along the lines of someone fixes the barn after they lose a cow. The meaning behind it is that you fix things and it's too late. But what I think is, even if it's late, you gotta fix it. I definitely feel like the culture and the general public's perception of mental health has definitely changed over the last couple of years. And it's sad that it's costing us like these many lives. So
for sure, I'm gonna wrap this up over here. But
yeah,
lastly, I want to make a statement. If you are struggling with mental health or know someone who is, please seek help. You are not alone. Resources will be in the description of this YouTube video. But we're going to take a little break to compose ourselves and get back with our regular scheduled program. And we back. Let's now get into our big new releases for this week. On November 19th, Tuesday, we had Ujusonyo with As You Wish, CIX with Numb. On November 20th, Wednesday, we had Astro with Blue Flame. And today, on November 25th, Monday, we had Kang Daniel with Touchin. But let's start at the top with Ujusonyo's As You Wish.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Yo, Space Ujusonyo is back, yo. I had completely missed Space Ujusonyo. Like, this is so their last two songs, Boogie Up and La La Love. For me, they're not super canon to the Ujusonyo lore. Let's just take a mulligan on those. Let's take a mulligan on those. This is more like a Save Me, Save You sound, and their more previous sound. I wrote in my notes, this is a grade A banger. Literally grade A. Now, I'm going to make some points here. Okay. For the longest time, I was not completely sold on Bona being the center of Ujusonyo. But now, I will admit that I was 100% wrong with that.
Wow.
Number one.
Small brain boy.
She is amazing at, like, getting the attention of the camera. Number two, the styling decision to put her in the pink hair was tremendous. Paired that with the dance choreography in the chorus. Wow. This was amazing. Other things I want to point out. Dawon finally got some lines. I know there was a movement within the Ujusonyo fandom to get Dawon more lines. And she's had, to be honest, before Yeonjung was added to the group, she was essentially the main vocalist. And when Yeonjung came around, they rode the hot hand, and that diminished her role. And finally, they're giving her some more lines. I think that is an absolute great thing. But what do y'all think of this song? Really? Really?
All right, I think I can go first if Warren doesn't want to. But
I mean, he's just going to pause for like 30 minutes.
I thought I knew I was going to speak.
Well, okay. I think this is definitely... It's not my favorite Ujusonyo song, and it's not the vibe that I had hoped for. Like, I was hoping for, like, the more magical, like, glittery stuff that I really like from them. But I still feel like the song is pretty good. Like, I like it better than their last two singles, I think.
Yeah.
And I thought that overall, I thought like the set design and outfits were really great. I was confused a little bit, but what looked like horseback riding outfits, if you know what that is.
Warren called them Han Solo. Yeah, he called them Han Solo outfits.
Han Solo. Okay. Well, I thought it was interesting. I thought that styling choice was really interesting. I think overall, I kind of preferred the verses and like the bridge of the song more than the chorus. And I don't know what it is. I think it's something about the beat of the chorus that sounds a little odd to me in context with the whole song. But I think if I listen to it long enough, I would get into it as well. So I think overall it's still a really good song.
Okay, before we get to Warren, background information. Uju Sonya's from Starship, debuted in 2016. Last 3 songs, Boogie Up, La La Love, Save Me, Save You. They have 5 music show wins to date. This album, As You Wish, sold 30,662 copies in the first 24 hours, which surpasses For the Summer which sold 21,942 as their best-selling album in the first 24 hours. Additionally, I want to point out there's a B track on this. It's like the English name is weird. It's either Lucky Kitty Cat or Luckity Cat. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. It might be better than the A track. Let's just put that out there. And for me, the A track assassin to listen to a B track, that's saying something.
Personally, I feel like the mini album in general is really well made. There's a lot of songs that could have been A tracks. There's like one like lo-fi track on it, like one kind of like I wouldn't say lo-fi. It's like kind of like chill R&B, not really ballady, but kind of like that. I think it's called Lights Up. And they performed it like for like a minute on like a music show. And besides that, they all could have been like A tracks. There's a song called Bada Boom on it. That's like
Bada bing, bada boom.
But going back to As You Wish, Iruri, Iruri, Iruri-da. Here's what I think, right? Cosmic Girls, ever since... I'm going to exclude their debut single, because God knows why they made that. But ever since then, it began with like a small scale kind of song, and then it gradually grew, right? The first their first song, well, including that song and the song before that, Secret, were like kind of lo-fi, and recently they've been doing like explosive EDM songs, and that's where we ended up with As You Wish. Do I think this sounds like a typical Cosmic Girls song? No, I don't. I completely disagree with Douglas. I think he needs a new pair of ears. I have no clue what he's talking about. But I do think that they retained some of that color and created a mainstream color and found the good like middle ground, right, where the mainstreamers are like, oh, this is stuff I could like, and then the people who are more used to the more typical Cosmic Girl sound can still kind of accept this as a Cosmic Girl sound. Now, did I like that new kind of direction they're going in? No. Nah. Not a fan.
You bugging, fam. You bugging.
But I do recognize that it's helping them be more successful with the general audience and, you know, gaining more fans and whatnot. And I still think the song's well made. I just not like, it's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. You know.
Let's point out something else. So Warren claimed last week that China Light would be back in these promotions.
Oh yeah.
And I was surprised at the time. That kid was wrong. Apologize, sir, to the audience.
Okay. I mean, in case you weren't on the Discord server, I'm sorry. I thought I heard somewhere that China Line's gonna be on there. They weren't. There was a couple clips on Instagram where they were involved though.
Yeah, well, I pointed that out last week, though.
Oh.
And then you were like, they back. I was like, oh, really? And you're like, yeah. But just throwing that out there. But,
yeah, I'm a liar. I'm sorry.
I do think, so from what I understand, I'm just going to call them by their Chinese name. So Wu Zhanyi and Meng Meiqi, I think they are still doing Rocket Girls right now. The winning group from Produce 101 China Season 1. I believe once that ends, it'll be the interesting thing to see what happens. That being said, just as Korea Line, they are doing pretty well though. And they are, I say right now, at their highest popularity ever, which is always the correct where you want to be every release. So, although you might not be the biggest fan of the song, it is doing well at a minimum.
Yes, I'm glad.
I think excluding Big Three, first of all, and then excluding IZ*ONE, they might be one of the most popular girl groups.
Okay, interesting take.
Oh.
Can people disagree or agree with me on the Discord server or the YouTube comments, please? Thank you very much.
Okay, let's now move on to, man, I'm going to call these the Dark Rookies. The Dark Rookies,
Yes.
CIX with their new
man.
song Numb. So they're from C9. They debuted this year. Their only other A-track, they did have a Japanese release, but their only other Korean A-track was their debut song Movie Star, which they did win an award show. I mean, a music show for.
Mm-hmm.
My main take from this entire song, Bae Jin Young is a top tier talent. Now, that kid has had so much growth since he went on
For
produce
real.
season 2.
Yes.
It is ridiculous. Visuals on point. Although he might need to eat like a sandwich or two. You know,
Oh.
he's
Them all skinny.
he's looking really skinny. Let's just throw that out there. But who am I to judge? Who am I to
Slender.
judge? But ridiculous stage presence. Like when he's on the screen, I'm like, I am watching Bae Jin Young do his thing out there. No offense to the other members, but they put Bae Jin Young in the center for a lot of this, and he is absolutely killing it. For me, great follow-up to Movie Star. I think that they are super impressive, and out of the rookie class for guy groups of this year, they're underrated within that mix. I think that the choreo is fire, but I think that the chorus itself could be very polarizing, meaning that you could either love it or hate it, depending on what side you fall on that. It's one of, because it's a very, I don't want to call it a noise heavy chorus, but it's like a drop, like EDM type of chorus.
It's aggressive.
It's a very aggressive thing. So I think you either like it or not. The funny thing I want to point out in the music video was, where did they get a 5x5 Rubik's Cube? Like, I know those exist, but that seems pretty rare to get. Lastly, I say, you know, I've been talking about dark music videos. This is a dark, but CIX has been consistently dark. So I think it fits what they're going
That's
for.
true.
And I want to say that the sets, I did not like the set that they had the chorus drop in, that black room with some lights. But all the other sets, like the classrooms and the boxes and stuff, I thought all of those sets and the visual effects looked great in this music video. So those were my takes.
I'll go next since Anita went second last time. Here's what I'll say. Here's a summary of my takes. This solidifies their position for me as my favorite new rookie boy group of the year.
Wow, that's a strong take.
Now, I did like Movie Star better than Numb. I
would agree.
I liked Movie Star better than Numb easily, but at the same time, I am very impressed. As same with Thug. I'm on the other side of the drop. Not a fan of it. It feels a little too detached from the rest of the song. What really got to me about Movie Star was how well the whole song flowed. This didn't really have that because of the drop was so out there. But besides that, I mean, man,
they're
what
good.
A sexy group of men.
They don't sound or feel like rookies. That's I think a great compliment to them.
Yeah.
But Anita, what do you think about CIX's Numb?
Oh, well, I feel like honestly this was probably the release from this week that I've listened to the most. It was one of my favorites. I think something that I've noticed about CIX is that their choreo is really good.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if they had the same choreographer for this one debut, because some of the moves looked a little similar. Like the vibes seem very similar. So I'm wondering if they're sticking with this group, because it's going really well. For me, the chorus I thought was really interesting. I would say I'm more towards the side where I found it to be contrasting to the rest of the song, because I felt like it was very light in the verses and stuff, and then it drops and it gets really dark, and I thought like, oh, this is different, but it didn't feel that disjointing to me. And I think lastly for me, with this title track and then some other B-sides, they have like a very EXO-ish sound. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very EXO vibe.
I can feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the producers this time, but last time a bunch of their production team had portfolios in EXO as well. So
that makes sense.
That might be the case here as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked it. I think for me, something that I've been surprised in is that I've really enjoyed when the rap part comes here, like for their songs. Like I don't know, it seems very fitting. Like maybe it's BX as his voice, maybe, but it seems like it fits. I don't know. It sounds pretty nice. And just want to give like a little shout out to their B-side called Maybe I.
Maybe I.
Yeah, that was good.
Maybe
yeah.
I. It's a really good song. Really, really good song. I hope they promote it alongside this.
Okay, cool.
Going back to the rap thing real quick, I also very much agree with that personally. I forgot to mention that. People, okay, here's the thing. Here's how I feel about rap after listening to rap music for about 10, 11 years at this point. Good, fast, aggressive, skilled rap is good. But really good rap is something that flows well with the song and something you can listen to for like over and over and over again, and you don't get tired of hearing the rap. That's what they have going on here. And and the thing with idol rap is that many like most of the times it's very showy, you know, it's very like skillful and aggressive. It's not the case here. So
what was it?
Doug made me stop, but you'll find out why.
I'll tell you why. I made Warren stop because cousin Harold or whatever cousin's coming on today told me that the take is about rap, and he was messaging me to get Warren to be quiet, or he's gonna waste all his takes on rap.
I have plenty of takes on rap.
Save it for later.
Save it for later for the spiciness. But let's now move on to the song that came out on November 20th, Wednesday. Astro's Blue Flame. They are from Fantagio. Debuted in 2016. Last three songs were All Night, Always You, Crazy Sexy Cool. One music show wins so far. My main take. Let me get this out of the way. I know Chaunu is a top tier visual. But did y'all see Moonbin in this music video?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that kid was going nuts. So the unfortunate thing is that Moonbin is taking a hiatus from the promotions of this song for health reasons. But man, was it nice to see him in this music video. The wolf shirtless thing before the first chorus. I was like, okay, like I see you. I really like this song, to be honest. I'm going to point out some things in this music video. I had a lot of things to say about the music video. Okay. First thing, I said, forget 2 chains. They made Unu like 15 chains. Like he was wearing this one outfit. They had, they went to like Claire's, which is at a store in America, which sells like fake jewelry, and they bought all the chains in the store and just put it on him. That's what happened there.
There was a lot.
Number 2, glitter face was apparently a thing.
Body glitter, yeah.
There was so much body glitter out of nowhere.
It's pretty though.
If you like body glitter, I guess it was pretty.
If you like body glitter, I guess
for me, pretty. This song, the chorus is so catchy. The blue flame, that thing that they keep saying. This is my favorite Astro song ever.
Wow.
Let's just say that. Let's just throw that out there. Only thing for me in terms of the song that I did not like. As Warren mentioned about the rap in the previous song, I have a couple takes about the rap in this song.
Okay.
I felt that the rap sections of this song kind of took me out of the song a little bit. I felt that they were too toned down, where I was like, I'm waiting for the blue flame to come back, yo.
Both of the verses or only
more
the second one?
With the first one, I want to say.
Really?
I'm not really sure. I just know that both of the rap sections I wasn't the biggest fan of. But those were my takes. I guess I'm wrong, Warren, right? You like the rap section?
There's no right and wrong here. Don't say it. Don't put it that way.
Okay, I guess you have a differing opinion.
Yes, I disagree.
What's your opinion?
I mean, we can talk about it later when our H cousins come on and deliver their takes. But personally, I feel like it was a good break.
Okay.
Like the song would go up and then be like, all right, we're gonna go down real quick before we hit the next climax. We go up again, little break before we go to the third climax, and boom, the song is over. Personally, I was a fan of that. Not every rap needs to be like, like.
Okay, apparently that's how people are rapping these days. But
of course,
well, can you let us know how they're rapping these days? Okay, interesting.
Okay, personally, the song Astro Blue Flame. Astro's not been on my radar. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember any of their previous songs.
Really?
Here's the thing. I know that I've seen it because I went and checked out their previous music videos and I recognized them. But like internally in my brain, there isn't like a spot for Astro yet. They might have a spot now.
Oh.
I definitely liked the song after giving it a couple listens. On the first listen, I thought it was a little generic, but then I started listening to the details, and there was a little bit of like Latino flavor to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we're to be honest about Astro,
I like this.
they're one of those groups that has been kind of like wading through the mid-tier mess. I think we can objectively say that at this point. It's one of those things that they are one of the notable groups in K-pop that is known to have like a pure hard carry, right? Like, if you know Astro, you at a minimum know Chaonu, because he's the one of the top tier visuals in male K-pop. It's we could have a discussion about hard carries another day, right? But it's a blessing and a curse. Let's just say that, to have a pure hard carry in your group. To casual fans, I'm sure Astro fans know all the members, but like for someone like me who's not the biggest Astro fan, I knew Chaonu and a little bit of Moonbin coming into this. That was about it. And I had seen all the members, and I was like, oh, that guy's in this group. You know what I mean? That being said, it's one of those situations that they've been around since 2016, right? They're in year 3, almost into year 4.
I had no idea.
Exactly. It's at one of those points, I would say by year 3 or 4, it's the breaking point to break through or not. At least in my opinion. It's hard to make a late push after, I would say. Once you're into like year 5, you pretty much have established where you're going to be in the tier list.
It's difficult, yeah.
I still think there is time for them to turn around, and I think that this song is a great stepping stone to potentially do that. But Anita, what are your takes on this song?
Well, I've been a fan of Astro since their debut, but to me, I just feel like they've grown a lot, and this is a complete 180 from their first stuff, because they've definitely gone through an image concept change. Their last song, I think, kind of signaled that change, but I think this is like the complete form, like what it would be like in the future if they do commit. And I don't think it's bad. I think they're doing pretty good. I liked the song. There were parts where I don't know, it felt a little slow, but then the chorus would like speed up a little bit, and I feel like, oh, this is a good progression, I think. I'm still getting used to their concept change, because I liked their previous stuff too, like more peppy, more youthful concept and songs that they had. I really, really hope that moving forward they include like more intense strong choreo, because they're really good dancers. Yes. I feel like they haven't really demonstrated that too well, but I don't know, I've been a fan of Astro. I hope they get more recognition.
Yeah, I hope that they do too, because they're way more talented than their place in the world of male K-pop right now, I would say.
Honestly, I mean, I came in with not really an expectation because I wasn't really familiar with Astro. I was pleasantly surprised. So, with the right push and the right marketing, they do have the potential to, make it. So.
I mean, as Eminem once said, with this concept change, sometimes you just gotta lose yourself, Mom spaghetti. But now let's move on to the song that came out today. Kang Daniel Kang came out with Touchin. He is from his one-man company Connect. He debuted in August of 2017 with 101, and then earlier this year in 2019 as a solo artist. His only other solo song was What Are You Up To, and he has 1 music show win so far. For me, in terms of just music video, best pure music video of the week.
I agree.
Yes.
By far. This was an amazing music video. The duality between the color and the black and white scenes is tremendous.
Really creative.
This song is amazing. So funky, that bass line.
Yeah.
This is a gigantic step up from his first release. This is a massive step up for me. Similar to Uju Sonyo, I might have prejudged him a little bit. I liked him on Produce 101. He was my mom's pick on that show. Like that's a fun fact right there.
He was your mom's spaghetti.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I don't know what that means, but I guess back when he was on that show, I wasn't completely sold. I know he had the popularity. Obviously, he placed number one. But I did not know if he had the skill to pull off solo concept. He proved it to me a little bit with the first release, but this song has solidified to me that with the production team behind him and his own improvement and skill, he should be 100% taken seriously as a solo artist. I was completely wrong. The only funny take I have about this music video was I wrote this before the interesting twist in the music video. I wrote, "God damn, that's a lot of Tabasco." Like in the music video, the boy Daniel takes out a slice of pizza. He's watching the shooting scene about to happen, and he starts like pouring that Tabasco on this pizza. I counted maybe 5 to 7 shakes of the Tabasco bottle for one slice of pizza.
More. I think it was more.
It might have been more,
yeah.
because they showed it, then they showed something on the black and white, and then they came back and he's still doing it. So it could have been like, and I was like, why are they doing so much Tabasco? But then they had the shoot thing where the Tabasco was like him getting shot, and I was like, this is so smart. I thought that was
really cool.
Really, really cool. This whole music video. And my take is that sometimes music videos don't need to have a story, but it is cool when they do. And this definitely has like a story going on. Lastly, I thought at that point after the shooting scene, I was like, man, this is a great music video. This is great. And then they hit us with the white suits at the end.
That was pretty cool too.
And I was like, that was just taking it over the top for me. And this as a package, music video plus song plus performance, tremendous effort. Anita, what'd you think of Kang Daniel's Touchin?
I really liked it. I feel like I was not expecting this kind of sound from him, especially because his debut was something I wasn't expecting at all either. So from the get-go, I didn't really know where he was going to go. And in this case, again, I wasn't expecting it to be more retro-y. I kind of felt like it had a very Charlie Puth vibe. I feel like I've been referencing that a lot, but it's very, with that bass line, very, very cool, very funky sound. But he pulled it off really well. I've also been really impressed by his vocals because he wasn't very well known for that back in 101 or in Produce. So I think props to him for pulling it off, for not having to rely on like just rapping and focusing only on that. And I don't know, I really liked it. I like that he's including a lot of choreo and showing off his dancing skills as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I've been pleasantly surprised by him so far. So
yeah,
very well done.
For me, like in terms of what I meant about like the solo, it was 100% related to the singing ability, because I think to be a successful singer, I mean, it's much easier if you start at like a singing base. You know what I mean? Instead of starting at a rapping starting point, it's much easier to be a solo artist, and he's doing a great job. But Warren, what do you think of this song?
I mean, I think I'm generally in agreement with you guys today, in general, including this one. Man, I don't have any spicy takes today, guys. I'm sorry.
This was just good. It was just
a
good.
But this is, I mean, it was a really solid song. I mean, it was, like Anita mentioned, it was a very cool vibe. Like there's not, Charlie Puth is a perfect example. Like I might even go further and say like Korean Bruno Mars.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Like, it was like, how do I say yoyu iso in English? You know, like
you would basically say there was like an air of like a chill, relaxing vibe, like professional vibes going on.
Right. He's like, it's chill,
Classy.
he's relaxed, classy at the same time. He's like well put together.
Like, you know, like there's no nerves. He's like, I'm a pro. I got this. That's basically
exactly that. And I mean, at this point, he's like an industry star. I'm not gonna deny that, ignore that. And that leads into that. And I think he's using his position to his advantage in creating his musical character, which I mean, it works really well. I mean, there's nothing really to say here, like, or to like really like analyze or like dissect. It's just everything flows really well. It's one of those few cases in K-pop where I would say the music really mirrors the character.
Okay, that's a cool opinion on that. I'm gonna say I don't know the specifics, but from what I remember, he was not appearing on some of the major music networks with the last release. But I know that some of them are allowing him to perform with this one. So that should be pretty cool.
I think that's good.
And that's a good transition to our show winners for this week. Hey, you see what I did there? Okay.
Oh, pivot.
So this week on the show and show champion, there was no charter winner, unfortunately. The big winners for this week, well, there was one big winner and one additional winner. So the big winner this week was Mamamoo with Hip. They won M Countdown, Music Bank, and Inkigayo, bringing their total to 3. And then Show Music Core, which is on Saturday, was won by IU's Love Poem, bringing it up to 3 wins. For a B track to get 3 wins with no music video is a fantastic feat in itself. But now let's move on to hot takes with Hubert. On this segment, Warren's cousin Hubert's going to come on today and give a weekly hot take, and the crew will react and discuss the hot take. Let go. So, Warren, go get your cousin Hubert.
Yeah, my cousin's visiting New York weekend, so let me just go get him. Hey, Harold! I'm Hubert!
Oh, man. You know, Anita, I know that the news was kind of sad this week, but the music this week was good. At a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a silver lining, but it's been kind of a rough 24 hours. Oh no.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, guys?
Okay. Hey, what's up?
It's Harold here. How y'all doing?
You're Hubert, though.
I mean, I'm Hubert. I know my own name. Don't say that.
Okay, hit us with the take.
Oh, man. All right. This week's weekly hot take. Main rapper is oftentimes very forced. And many groups would be better without one. So, let me know what you guys think. I think Warren has a lot to say.
Okay, so
yeah. Bye, Hubert.
well, we get Warren back. The weekly hot take is main rapper is oftentimes very forced, and many groups would be better without one. That's a take. Okay, so our Warren's back here.
Hey guys,
how about you take the floor first on this one?
I agree.
You agree with this?
I wholeheartedly agree.
Explain why.
What is the point of having a rapper in an idol? Sometimes I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand, because many songs, depending on their concept, don't need a rap verse in it. And sometimes a song shoehorns in a rap verse, and it's so short it makes no sense. Like, it'll be 4 bars, and at that point it doesn't make any sense. Like, why is there like, and then we start questioning ourselves. Why is the rapper here? And there's many different reasons why. Maybe the people who produced the group thought, oh, you know, people love rappers, let's put the rapper in. Or maybe people thought, oh, he's gonna be a good star, but he's not gonna sing, let's make him rap. I don't know if that's a myth or a truth at this point.
I mean, also sometimes it's like, we have this member from America, he's the rapper. That often happens too.
I mean, here's the thing. If it's groups like Winner or like Icon, where clearly they have a set genre that they, you know, perform in, like Stray Kids, and they, you know, constantly need rap verses in their song, yeah, then they would probably need a main rapper. But let's say boy group ABC has been coming back with bubblegum pop for about 4 years. Mm-hmm. Do they need a rap verse? Do they need a main rapper?
I'm going to argue they do. Okay.
Go for it.
Here's my take. I agree with you that sometimes in certain situations you do not need to have a rap verse in a song. And sometimes some songs are, the quality lowers because they added a random rap verse and it takes out my immersion. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh no, my immersion, right? That being said, I think at this point, having a rapper is one of the key parts of like K-pop now. Like, I think it's so ingrained in K-pop that it's unavoidable. Now, do I think many groups would be better with that one? No, because I think every group stumbles along situations where you do need to have one. So if you completely did not have one, and then you concept change, and you don't have a main rapper, you're completely screwed at that point.
I'm gonna argue that right away, because they might need a rap verse. Okay. That doesn't mean they need a main rapper.
So you're saying that they should just get someone who's not great at rap to just do it?
Man, I don't know how explicit I should be right now.
Please don't.
But I mean, I'm not gonna name any names, obviously, but it's not like all the main rappers are good rappers to begin with, guys.
I mean, okay, that's fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair point.
It's not like making the lead vocal practice for a month and have him do the lead rap thing. That would also be another solution.
How I see it though is that the way K-pop songs are produced these days, I'm not claiming that I'm like the best person about how to lay out a song, right? I'm just a simple K-pop consumer at the end of the day.
You're just a Doug Kim.
Yep, that's just me. But I think that in appropriate situations, I'm not saying like you do a full like cry ballad and then there's a rap verse. I'd be like, oh, okay, we don't need that, right? But what I am saying in songs that you could or could not have a rap verse, I do think that the rap verse oftentimes breaks up the song, so we're not just getting verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, end of the song. Before we continue to say, Anita, what do you feel about this take?
Okay, well, as someone who is not very like super well versed in like rap music, hip hop, that kind of stuff,
I'm just to a lot of it. What I don't know.
I do listen to it more now, I think, but I wouldn't say that I know everything there is to know about it, or like flow and lyrics and stuff like that. Like I'm not an expert on this, but I do feel that K-pop has a very interesting structure as far as like musically, like what they include, right? And I think a lot of people see like, oh, this is not what I expect to hear in a pop mainstream song, right? So I think it's interesting, and sometimes it can add more to the song or to the group in general when there's someone who has like that position. And there are other cases where I do wonder why include this part in the song, or like why is this person only focused on this job, right, of rapping? Like I feel like there are other things they could also do, like very good dancers, very good singers, like they're very good at being a personality on TV. But I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't say it's absolutely unnecessary, but I also feel like it shouldn't be taken too seriously, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. There was an article on online K-pop magazine called Idology. It's a Korean one, and then they were saying how like idol rapping should be a completely different, considered completely differently from like rappers rapping, and I totally agree. And I'm not expecting idol rappers to spit Kendrick Lamar every time they come back.
I'll give an example of this, right? So I'll talk about my own favorite group. I think that's fair playing field then, right?
Okay.
My favorite group is obviously IZ*ONE. Chaeyeona is not a rapper by trade. Let's be straight up. Our lovely duck rapper is not a rapper by trade. Let's just be straight honest. She came on the show as a vocalist, right? But she does feel the need. Her rap in La Vie en Rose, right? Although she is not a rapper, and the verse itself objectively might not be like, she ain't spitting flames, right? It is one of the most memorable parts of that entire song.
It adds something to it.
It adds to the song, for sure. Now, if we talk about the role main rapper being forced, I could see that point. Because sometimes you shouldn't just say, like, you're the main rapper now, kid, right? Like, because if, like, let's say I'm making a ballad group, and then they title, like, one of our, like, let's say I have 6 kids in a ballad group, and they're like, main rapper, hey, ballad group. I can see why you would say that's forced, right? Now, the part I have is that many groups would be better with that one. I think it is. I don't think the word many is the correct term here in terms of the take. I would say there is a select few groups that would be better with that one in terms of what they're trying to go for. But I think overall, 90% of groups find situations where they do need to have a main rapper. That's just my overall feeling.
Here's what I'll say regarding that. I don't think need is the right word. They choose to use rap as an instrument.
So you want to switch it up and just rap in general in K-pop songs?
Not kind of like in K-pop. Here's how I view it. Right, there's an orchestra. Sometimes you need the violin solo. Sometimes you need the clarinet solo. Sometimes you need the euphonium or the bassoon or the flipping marimbas to do their little thing. Right? Like,
okay.
Here's the thing. Let's say the marimbas get to do a solo. But sadly, the concert hall we're going to doesn't have a marimba ready yet. Oh no, what do? We just use a piano instead, or like a different mallet instrument, or just a regular xylophone. That's where I see rap in K-pop.
Would you rather them not have rap, or rather them get a featuring rapper to come on to the track? That's a interesting question. You know what I'm saying, right?
No, we repeat your question. That's
okay, so you say sometimes idol songs don't need rap. Let's say there's a situation that calls for a rapper. We're doing a concept change. We don't got a main rapper because
get the lead vocal to practice for a month and get him to do the rap.
Okay, see, that's where I disagree. I would
rather have Sick K on Astro. Like, is that what you're asking for?
I mean, I'm talking like someone fitting for the song they're in, because like if you're arguing here that it's often very forced, right? Then isn't making the main vocal be the rapper even more forced?
I see that point, to be honest.
No, because not every song is gonna need a rapper.
I'm not saying I'm saying this specific song we're coming back with is a dark song, and we need it.
There's plenty. I think there's plenty of ways to arrange a song that's dark without rap.
Okay.
Sometimes it really just feels like they're shoehorning in a rap verse because the main rapper needs a part.
I feel like they're just shoehorning in the main rapper into K-pop songs because that's what like the whole genre does. It's just what K-pop is there's gonna be a rap section regardless of if you like it or not.
Well, that's why I think main rapper is often very forced, and many groups would be better without one.
I don't think many.
I think it's a defining feature of K-pop. Do I think it's a good one? No.
And we back. Anita had to leave us, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances. But you got the two idiots left. We're gonna continue on with the show. I think we covered the hot take the full way to the conclusion. So let us know what you guys think down below. But now let's get into our news and events from last week.
All right.
The first section is being called Next Top Boy Group from Outside the Big Three. I found an article this past week in which netizens discuss which boy group that is not from a Big Three agency, SM, YG, or JYP, could be the next to break through into the top tier ranks. I thought that it would be an interesting topic for discussion. A little less interesting now that Anita's not here, but nevertheless, we will keep going. So, winning first place on KBS's Music Bank, MBC Show Music Core, or SBS's Inkigayo, the three major broadcast networks in Korea, is often considered one litmus test of if a group has truly made it in the world of K-pop. In the past 10 years, only 13 permanent boy groups from agencies outside the Big Three have accomplished this feat. These include, in order of debut, Beast, CM Blue, Infinite, B1A4, Block B, VIX, BAP, B2B, Newest, BTS, Monsta X, and most recently 17. No group that has debuted between 2016 and 2019 from an agency outside the Big Three has won on any of the major TV networks. In fact, only TXT and Astro have been nominated. Netizens often cite the produced series and the program's inclusion of talent from many smaller agencies around Korea as the reason for this drought. It is often known as the quote-unquote produce effect. During this time period, 2016 to 2019, only Wanna1 and X1 have won on any of the major networks. In the comment section of the article that I am referencing, netizens discussed which group that they thought would be most likely to win on a major network in the future. The most frequently mentioned were TXT and ATEEZ, but the other groups that I saw mentioned were AB6, ONEUS, SF9, The Boys, Astro, Pentagon, N-Flying, CIX, and on and off.
All right.
First of all, I personally think it's a big four now. Let's be real. Don't you? All right. At this point.
I mean, that's still kind of difficult to say. I mean, in the context of this article, at least, right?
I think
TXT hasn't won yet.
They haven't won on a major network, but I think honestly they're the most likely.
I mean, yeah. I said the word. They haven't yet. They will soon.
It's gonna happen in the next calendar year. I'm willing to put money on that. In terms of the other groups, though, who do you think is most? I think TXT. I think at this point, a foregone conclusion, they will be top tier at some point.
Yes.
But who else do you think is like on the cusp or has the best shot out of the groups I mentioned, or a different group if you want to talk about that?
I mean, I think you covered most of the bases, right? ATs, AB6, 1S, SF9, The Boys, Astro, Pentagon, and Flying CIS on and off. I mean, here's the thing. Because a lot of music show wins, especially on the big three music shows, is 인기가요, 음악중심, and what's the other
Music
one?
Bank.
Music Bank. Between those three, it's really influenced a lot by Korean popularity, and it's kind of true. The Produce series has kind of like led to a lot of. It's really influenced how like boy group fandoms kind of interact within the last couple of years.
It's kind of.
I would say.
Oh, keep going, Warren.
I would say AB6 has a decent chance.
AB6. Okay, yeah.
Produced, like.
Brand new music.
Yeah, they're carrying a lot of members from 101, aren't they? Like Lee Dae-hwi and like
Park Woo-jin.
Park Woo-jin.
And they have the two other members. I think it's Dongmin, and I forgot the fourth one. I'm sorry, everyone, but I kind of agree. I know ATEEZ was mentioned more frequently than AB6, but ATEEZ is in a similar position as LOONA is for girl groups, where I would say a majority of their popularity is outside of Korea. And if we're going to go under the frame of reference that Warren mentioned, that a lot of the major shows is due particularly to Korean popularity, I think it makes more sense that AB6 would be more likely.
Yeah.
On top of that, I would say, who knows? A group like SF9 last year had that Rooftops major hit out of nowhere.
That's true.
If they do it again, because they have a very Korean pleasing sound, because their jump up had to do with domestic streams, right? So it would not be out of the question for them to strike lightning again and make it. I think I would group like ATEEZ and ONEUS together. A lot of international popularity. Would it happen eventually? Maybe. I think it's more likely with ATEEZ at the moment because they seem to be riding a strong wave. But I don't think it's out of the question. I would also put the boys sort of in that category too. But I think the boys does have a little bit stronger domestic popularity. That's just my impressions.
Because I know that for ATEEZ and ONEUS especially, recently I delivered very spicy takes. And before I deliver those takes, I do some research. I try to figure out what I fans think, and I try to figure out what K fans think. And people were referencing ATEEZ and ONEUS as the groups that I fans like.
Okay.
And they were like, all right, like, I fans seem to like them. Let's give them a shot. And some people would be like, this is actually a lot better than I thought. And some people will be like, their song is not really like, it's not something I can digest.
As a Korean audience member.
Right. That being said, I'm not sure if they've won the show yet. But I know that foreign fans, iFans, can also vote for the show. SBS the show. SBS MTV, SBS Music, the show. I know that foreign iFans can definitely vote for that. So if they haven't won yet, they would definitely have a good chance for that, I would say.
Yeah.
Easily. I do think like ATEEZ, like I don't remember about ONEUS, but ATEEZ definitely is getting that traction in Korea where they're like, oh, like so many iFans seem to like them. There must be a reason. Let's kind of like they're actually better than I thought.
On a similar path as like Monsta X, the hyper aggressive like route.
Oh, yeah.
That's their like comparison. I honestly, that's what I feel. I think TXT foregone conclusion. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I would say
easily.
ATEEZ pretty likely. It might take a little bit of time, but I think eventually they will reach at least the level of Monsta X. I could see that for sure happening. The other ones, I think the main contenders. Well, in terms of veterans. So if we're gonna talk about like, they're not even really veterans, but like Astro, Pentagon, SF9, the groups that have been around for a little bit.
I can't believe they haven't won. It feels like they would have won.
Maybe Blue Flame is Astro's path to this. Who knows? Right? Maybe
tune in next week, boys and girls.
Maybe in like 2 weeks it happens. But yeah, I
think you know who want to win though.
CIX.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you have a soft spot for CIX.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I hope that in the future we get a lot of these groups because we, as this article mentioned, we have this 3-year drought, maybe going into a 4-year drought, going into 2020 from 2016 to now. It's about time some of these new groups, even some of the groups that have been around for a couple years, have like breakthrough. Honestly. Because if we look at the groups that did accomplish this feat, we got 17 who's going strong. Monsta X, they had a bit of a rough year, but they're going strong. BTS, of course, megastars, right? but they're gonna have to start dealing with the military soon.
Right.
Sooner than later. Newest, kind of a similar position as BTS. It is right now in the guy group K-pop scene. There's like space to occupy, right? Like they're just waiting for the groups to grow up into those spots for sure. But interesting topic overall. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think is going to be the next one to break through? Maybe you make the point that you don't think TXT is going to break through, which I think would be a really spicy take, but you never know. I don't think that way though. I don't think it's going to happen.
Man, leave a comment if you think that.
Yeah, I justify it. Like at least yes. Open a discussion.
I want to hear your thoughts.
But now let's move on to a section I'm calling Hollywood and K-pop. There's 4 little articles about this. First one, Rebel Wilson, the actress, to produce Hollywood K-pop film, which is going to be titled Soul Girls. The story is about a Korean American and her friends competing to be the opening act for the most popular K-pop boy group. The screenwriter is a Korean with the name Young Il Kim, and he is reported to have revised the script for Soul Girls. Okay, also, hashtag This Is BTS trended worldwide as fans support BTS amid Grammy nomination snub. So on November 20th, fans across the globe expressed their support and anger that the group was completely snubbed from the 62nd annual Grammy Awards, which is scheduled to be held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on January 26, 2020. But in happier news, BTS did take home 3 awards at the 2019 AMAs, the American Music Awards. On November 24th, yesterday, they won Best Duo or Group Pop or Rock, Tour of the Year, and Favorite Social Artist. This is the second year that BTS has been awarded at the 2019 AMAs. And lastly, BTS's I Need You, Girls' Generation, I Got a Boy, and Psy's Gangnam Style were listed on Billboard's 100 songs that defined the decade. Lot to unpack here. First thing.
All right. Let's go back a little bit. Talk about Soul Girls.
I'm worried about this movie.
Look at the title. Soul Girls?
I'm worried because
it's like having a movie called Tokyo Boys.
Okay. I think Rebel Wilson's a very funny actress. Let's just throw that out there.
I mean, I don't have anything against Rebel Wilson.
And the reason why I mentioned that there's a Korean script writer is because my overwhelming hope for this is that they handle the cultural aspects of this with some class and not just make a mockery out of K-pop. That's my biggest concern.
I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? Like Asian representation in movies, Hollywood nowadays, it's a big thing. It's better for worse. It's a trend. So
Crazy Rich Asians. Let's go.
Right. Crazy Rich Asians, Star Wars, Rose, I forget her last name, but I mean, but at the same time, I am kind of concerned because just looking at the blurb you gave me,
I feel like why do I feel like it's gonna be a cringe fest?
See, that's what I'm thinking. Like a movie called Soul Girls, starring a Korean American girl and her friends competing to be an opening act for the most popular K-pop boy group.
I saw I saw on Twitter someone said they had leaked some of the script and but a lot of people say no, it's fake. But at the same time, whatever was released was really cringy, which is concerning. So take that with a grain of salt.
I hope it's like High School Musical kind of cringy, where it's like there's a market for it at least.
Yeah, because like from my perspective, even if I was not Korean, like I don't feel comfortable. Like, let's put it this way. Spike Lee, the famous New Yorker who makes films about the Black American experience, I feel in no way qualified or informed enough to make a movie about that. Right? In my life. I would never feel qualified. I don't know how much Rebel Wilson knows about the K-pop and Korean experience. I'm hoping that they hire a director that does, but we'll have to see.
I mean, yeah, she's only the producer. The director is what really matters in terms of...
But just this kind of product, it leads me into the discussion about the Grammys, where it seems that sometimes in Hollywood right now, they like to highlight K-pop when it's convenient for them, but don't actually like to give it its due.
Man, I mean, this is the Grammys. Grammy nominations and whatnot, they always carry a certain level of controversy because Grammy wants to be, they want to celebrate musical achievements only, like artistic value of music. And that's where people are like, well, what's the artistic value of like music? You know? I mean, I don't know.
My opinion, though, is at this point, K-pop is undeniable. Like, it's worked itself up to this point, where it's undeniable as a genre.
I mean, I don't think it's undeniable as a genre. It's just...
Yeah, but I also think... Okay, so I think the problem is right now, different organizations are handling K-pop very differently from each other.
That's true.
For instance, we had the Billboard Awards, which pigeonholed K-pop into a K-pop category more as a, like, consolation prize, right?
Yeah.
We have someone like the AMAs who are, it seems like they're more willing to fully embrace it as a genre and as a thing. And then we have the Grammys, which has decided to just snub them, even though K-pop is as successful commercially, if not more successful commercially than a lot of the acts that are nominated.
I mean, see, that's the thing, because Grammy doesn't celebrate commercial success at all. That's their whole point.
Yeah, but are you arguing that BTS doesn't have the artistic merit to win a Grammy or be nominated?
I mean, like, I guess Grammys don't think so, you know, like... I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, the Grammys every year for, like, the last, like, half a decade has had controversies regarding, like, the way they treat, like, minorities. Because a couple years ago, there was a lot of controversies about, like African American artists and, like, hip hop music on Grammys. So I just... with that context, I just feel like it's the Grammys being Grammys again, you know?
No, but here's my point why I think they're wrong, right?
No. I'm not saying they're wrong.
No. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that they're wrong.
No, I agree with you. They're wrong. Yeah.
No, the reason why I'm saying they're wrong is because they have an exhibit going on right now where they're showing the suits they wore last year at the Grammys. They only pay attention to BTS and K-pop when it's in their own convenience. That's my honest opinion about this.
I mean,
because they keep on showcasing it. They advertise that BTS is coming to the Grammys, right? They do things like that. They put them in promotional materials. They put them in the exhibition before the Grammys to get people hyped for it, and then they completely snub them. I think that's a disservice, to be 100% honest.
It's just people run businesses, man. That, you know, they're gonna do.
That
makes them profit.
No, that's my point. That they I think a lot of the Hollywood scene embraces K-pop when it's for their own convenience, but doesn't give it its due when it should give it its due.
See, my point, the point I'm trying to make is that that's not K-pop specific. That it's just Hollywood specific.
Yeah, but I think this is the most egregious because K-pop is outperforming almost anything else that has these issues right now. At least this year. Because if we think about the year BTS has had, this has been BTS's year globally.
Yeah,
they're in the top 3 of almost everything. So it's just some food for thought. Let us know what y'all think. But now let's move on to more Produce 101 developments. On November 20th, it was reported that all 11 members of X1 recently sat down with representatives from CJ E&M and their own respective agencies in order to discuss the group's future. Reports/rumors, I'm going to say that again, reports/rumors, so these are unconfirmed, claim that CJ E&M gave the X1 members the option to remain together as a group if all of the members collectively claim to the decision to continue under X1. However, it was speculated that the members were ultimately unable to reach a final decision at this meeting due to conflicting opinions. Shortly after these reports came out, CJ E&M confirmed that a meeting did indeed take place, but they have not come to a decision regarding the group's future promotions due to the complexity of the issue. Second, we found out that IZ*ONE members reportedly resting at their own homes following comeback postponement. You know, last week I was like, are they sitting in the dorm? It seems like they're not. I don't know about the J line, but if they got the J line out of Korea, they did it like low key undercover because no one knew. Later, it was also reported that X1 is in a similar situation where they're pretty much just like at their own homes, waiting for this all to like develop.
Things aren't looking good, man. I'm getting really worried now.
I think that they were waiting for the full police briefing to come out, which I think is happening by the end of the month.
Okay.
I think that's what CJ's plan is, but what's going to happen, your guess is as good as mine. Because we have no clue.
We'll keep following this news as it develops.
Okay, now in terms of quick takes, IU's Love Poem has now broke the record for the highest album sales on the first day by a female artist on Hanteo. She sold an incredible 103,000 albums.
That's a lot of CDs.
And this surpasses Taeyeon's Purpose, which just broke the record like less than a month ago. And IU also accomplished her second perfect all-kill of 2019 with Blooming. She accomplished it earlier in the month with the B-track Love Poem. Ridiculous. Second one. 21 was officially removed from YG's artist page.
Oh, I guess they're over. God damn it.
Sandra Park, also known as Dara, says that she quit her role as YG PR director as well. And on a direct Twitter thread where people were speculating what's going on, she replied, I quit after 21's disbandment. I only work for my girls.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang.
Word.
Because Sandra Park's contract is up soon, it's just adding fuel to the fire as to what's going on. But there may have also been another all-hands meeting at YG Entertainment. Blackpink, iKON, Akdong musician, in addition to YG himself, were seen entering the building earlier this week.
So this is the second time they're doing an all-hands meeting, right?
Yes. We have, like, purely speculation, but when there's an all-hands meeting, something's going down. And when YG himself comes at this point,
maybe it's like a town hall, you know?
Maybe.
Where they do, maybe it's their monthly meeting, YG.
I'm hoping it's that, because we, like...
Because you covered something like this like a month or so ago, right? Yeah.
You never know, though.
I mean, I'm going to be optimistic here, guys.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a Blackpink comeback at some point, please. Like, come on.
Oh my God, please, yes.
But next, Lai Kwai-lin, the former 101 member, loses his contract termination lawsuit versus Cube. As previously reported, the singer claimed Cube Entertainment signed over his management rights when he was promoting in China without agreement from him or his family. Cube stated that they will seek to continue maintaining a relationship with Lai Kwai-lin and will seek a resolution to their dispute. It's one of those things for me, like... Let's talk about sports teams, right?
Okay.
LeBron James is on the Lakers right now, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say LeBron James is like, trade me randomly, right? Trade me from your team, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then he goes through litigation with the league saying, like, they got to trade me. And then the league goes, nah, you ain't getting traded, right?
Uh-huh.
How awkward is it now for LeBron James and the Lakers? That's exactly what this is, right? Like...
I mean...
Now that I put it like that, right? How awkward is that?
I mean, he gonna have to walk into Cube Entertainment Company, and he gonna have to be like, "Hey guys, good morning."
I mean, it's like I still don't like you guys much, but I guess we got to do this, right?
My God,
it's just a weird situation.
This is an awkward situation.
But in more YG news, prosecutors declare YG himself free of charges of providing escort services due to lack of evidence.
Wow.
Essentially, they did not have enough evidence nor witnesses for this. So the police just closed the case. He is still under investigation, though, for whether he interfered with the BI alleged drug use investigations.
Well, boys and girls, this is what happens in Korean politics.
Lastly, in terms of comeback and releases, tomorrow, Tuesday, AOA.
Oh.
That should be cool. Wednesday, November 27th, EXO.
Oh.
November 28th, Thursday, Limitless, which is Jang Moonbok's group, so that should be funny. I'm not going to say it shouldn't be funny, it should be interesting, because, you know, Jang Moonbok is the walking meme, right? And then, finally, on December 1st, Sunday, JYP, the man himself, is coming back.
JYP!
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. But in terms of confirmed comeback news, Baekhyun is coming back with her first song at her one-woman company on December 10th. Also in December, we got JBJ95. Park Bom is making her triumphant return. And Gugudan's Sejong is having a solo comeback. The first artist for Dingo Music, which is a famous YouTube channel thing on the internet, idol collaboration project. She is getting a solo comeback, even though Gugudan has been shelved for over a calendar year. Weird.
Okay. So Dingo has done a lot of rapper collaborations, right? The way they usually run it is Dingo usually hits up the artist first.
Yep.
And then they'll be like, let's do this project together. And so far, they have a pretty good track record of making each project like more successful than the one before. So this might either be a make it or not make it situation.
I think she's fine, but she needs to translate her solo popularity into the group.
Gugudan.
And Jellyfish needs to figure out what they're doing with them overall.
If they utilize the Dingo situation well, I think they have a good chance.
Yeah, but for them to be benched over a year is terrible. Lastly, State of the Nation.
Oh.
So, as some of you know, I am going to Korea this holiday season. I booked tickets to go see the artist known as Stella Jang. She's like a indie acoustic type artist. Pretty fire. Go check her out.
She has VC, also known as Chizubichi. Oh yeah.
Wait, what do you? I have no clue what you just said.
She's part of that Project Girl group, Cheesevich.
Okay.
They're dropping another single soon. So check that out.
But the ironic thing is, it is occurring at Sogang University. I went to a summer program there called the Korean Immersion Program.
Oh man.
And the auditorium where she is going to be performing, I learned how to do taekwondo, talchum, which is like that sleeve, you wear the long sleeves and you wave them dance.
Mask dance.
And I also watched a Korean movie in the same auditorium.
Oh my gosh.
So that's full circle for me. That was like 6 years ago, I think.
Man.
Something like that. And then Warren moved to New York. I saw him yesterday. We built some IKEA furniture, ate some fried chicken. Overall, a good time. Lastly, you know how I list the number of music show wins during the music section? I found my holy grail. For some of you who don't know, I think I mentioned it once before on the podcast. They used to post all the music show wins on the Wikipedia pages for all the artists. Some point in this year, they made the decision to remove it on every single K-pop artist page. It's all gone. So I had been struggling. I had been having to use Namu Wiki, and Namu Wiki is very it's sort of like Wikipedia, but it's very fan driven. So some of the fan pages had it, some of them didn't. I found the PDF somewhere. It has every single music show win in like the history of music shows.
It's like a Google Drive spreadsheet, right?
Yes, it is my holy grail, and I found
Shout out to the guy who made it. If you made it, send us an email so we can like
thank you properly. And it is updated to literally, it has Victon winning their first win last week. So it is fully updated. But what have you been doing, Warren?
Well, like you said, you came over yesterday. We built IKEA furniture. We went to Koreatown. Maybe we should start doing vlogs, Douglas.
Vlogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're interested, if you guys want to see that kind of stuff, let us know.
For sure.
I've been last week was my first week at work, first full week at work, because I started the Friday before. You know, because in the beginning they did like they made me do one of those like introductions, and they were like, "Oh, tell us 3 facts about yourself." One of them, I mentioned that I do a podcast.
Oh no!
And they were like, "Oh, a podcast? What is it called?" And I was like, "Oh, it's called SojuTalk. We talk about Korean music on it every week." And they're like, "Oh, maybe I'll go listen." So, if you're my coworker and you're listening, if you made it this far in the episode and you're still listening, slack me.
It's impressive if you've made it this far, but from my perspective, please take care of our boy Warren over here. He needs some help.
I'm much weirder on the podcast than I am at work. Because at work, I'm still new. They're all cool people, by the way. They're all cool, really.
You're the studious guy.
And I'm like, oh hello, how are you doing? You know, like, Did you grab lunch yet? How's that for you? Good stuff. Hello there. You know, like.
Yo, that's hilarious. But so if you're listening, shout out to Warren's job. Shout out to that. But this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. I'm sorry, it was just the two idiots at the end, but it happened. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren for joining me. I'd like to thank Anita for her first half visit with us. You know, maybe she's an android and lost power. We don't know.
Doug, you forgot to charge her overnight.
But as a quick reminder, leave us feedback, questions, or hot takes at SojuTalkPodcast@gmail.com. Subscribe to the SojuTalk YouTube channel. Join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. Links down below. We will see y'all next week when we get to review AOA and EXO, yo. See y'all then. Bye.
Bye-bye.